Hello again, ladies and gentlemen, Sonic Yoda from SEGADriven.com, and welcome back to our EGX 2018 coverage. In this video we're taking a hands-on look at Fist of the North Star Lost Paradise. So, this is incredibly familiar if you're a fan of the Yakuza games, because it is made by Ryu Ga Gotoku Studios. So, the gameplay is incredibly familiar, as, like I say, to the Yakuza franchise, except you play as Kenshiro from Fist of the North Star. You're given a nice big map to explore with waypoints to go to in order to advance the story, which again, very familiar to the Yakuza franchise. In this demo in particular, you basically go off searching for materials in order to fix a car. And as expected, you basically need to engage in lots of combat in order to help the NPCs who promised you car parts and things like that. So you get into lots of big multi-man fights with gang members, and yeah, the action is very much akin to Yakuza. It's sort of brawling, fighting action, essentially. The main difference between this and the Yakuza franchise is just how much more fantastical and gory the fights are, because Kenshiro uses this martial art called Hokuto Shinken, which makes sort of heads and body parts explode in a shower of blood when you finish the enemies off. Yeah, it's a lot more visceral, a lot more sort of gory, basically. So it's actually quite comedic. They've actually gone for like a sort of a semi-cel-shaded look to this. All the characters and character models have a nice big thick black outline on them, which makes them look very sort of like anime or manga kind of look to them. Again, sort of in keeping with Fist of the North Star, which obviously started out as a manga. But yeah, visually though, I'm not particularly blown away by it. It actually feels very last gen. The world itself is quite clean and sort of tidy, which is not what I'd expect from a game set in a world that's suffered from a post-apocalypse. You'd expect there to be a lot more junk and rubbish around and just sort of looking a bit more decrepit. But like I say, it's quite a clean looking game, which is a bit strange, and again sort of ties in with the fact that it feels a bit last gen. So yeah, visually I'm not particularly enthralled by it, unfortunately. Like, it's certainly serviceable, it certainly does its job, and I don't think it's a bad looking game per se. I just think it's a little bit sort of dated looking, to be honest. But otherwise it's really fun. It's a really solid little action game, very much in keeping with the Yakuza franchise. So if you enjoy Yakuza, you're going to have an awful lot of fun here. I'm not massively familiar with the Fist of the North Star franchise, and I was, having a lot of fun with this regardless, because it's very much that style of Yakuza gameplay that I'm more familiar with and very much enjoy. So there's that appeal as well, but I think it'll also very much appeal to Fist of the North Star fans, because it's a good Fist of the North Star game, which is, something that rarely rolls around and often doesn't really get released over in the West as well. So it's nice that this is coming out here. So yeah, definitely quite a broad appeal here. If you like Yakuza, you're going to enjoy this. Also, if you like Fist of the North Star, you're going to enjoy this. And a bonus if you enjoy both. So yeah, cool little game. Very much enjoying the action. Very much in keeping with the Yakuza mechanics and how those games play. But unfortunately, visually a little bit lacking. I think they could have done a little bit more to sort of just add a little bit more detail to the environment, make it feel a little bit more lived in, make it feel a little bit more like it's happened in a post-apocalypse. It just doesn't feel like there's enough rubbish and junk around for it to really sort of like be a believable post-apocalyptic world. I mean, if you compare this to the Yakuza franchise and how overtly detailed and lived in those places feel, this is quite a dramatic change. This feels a little bit emptier, a little bit too clean in comparison, which is a shame. But again, not a massive downgrade, not a massive downside to the actual game itself, which is very much enjoyable and certainly worth checking out if you enjoy either Fist of the North Star or Yakuza.